Have you ever felt immeasurable disappointment? Have you ever spent what feels like a lifetime working on something just for it to be not as desired? For nearly everyone, the answer to these questions are yes. Many people have fallen victim to feeling stuck in a situation they feel they cannot escape, but are too frightened of the potential consequences to make a decision that can change their life. I've been a victim of succumbing to pressure from people before in my life too. And when you're essentially letting somebody make a decision for you, you're never going to get the results you're looking for. The most important part of making a decision is letting it be your own decision and do what you truly want to do, not what your friends, teachers, or even your family want to do. Although making a decision may seem daunting at first, it is impossible to escape a bad situation without making a decision. Say, for example, you're in an unhealthy relationship with somebody, but you feel like if you leave the relationship, your life won't recover, so you stay in the relationship anyway and hope things will just figure themselves out. This is a very common way to deal with the decision, just leave it for later. But this is the absolute worst way to deal with a decision. It is crucial to weigh your options and pick what is truly best for you. Consulting others that have your best interest in mind is also an effective way to make a decision if it is too difficult for you to make on your own. Which leads into the main topic of the video. How do freshmen in college make such shocking decisions? As surprising as it may seem, freshmen in college are inclined to leave their college after only their first year if they don't receive proper assistance, they feel unwelcomed, and are not treated equally or given the opportunity to succeed. For decades now, college students have lacked the support to have the best chance to succeed in college. They go from high school, where many teachers still coddle their students, to college, where they are essentially meant to do everything on their own. Proper support can be shown by allowing students time to ask questions, develop a connection with their students, and remain enthusiastic throughout their tenure. Without these components, students are set up for failure because their self-confidence will drop, which can be shown by a self-efficacy study called College Student Retention, an exploration of the relationship between self-efficacy beliefs and purpose in life among college students. It states that students who had thoughts of leaving college described little or no connection with their institution and felt like nobody would help them. It becomes clear through the research that college freshmen are prone to having thoughts of leaving because they feel like they are all alone and will never receive any help. What is written for college students, the research done by these authors is clearly meant to find a solution for an ever-growing problem. One that they argue is to encourage professors to hold sessions for their students to ask potential questions they may have. With one of the authors herself being a college dropout, she was able to relate to how detrimental it can be to not receive proper support. And she could use her experience as evidence for the importance of having a high self-efficacy and receiving proper assistance. Not only do freshmen leave college because they don't receive proper assistance, but they ponder over the possibility of leaving as soon as they get there because they feel unwelcomed. When a student feels unwelcome, it is typically because they are given some sort of label by the school, that they aren't as smart as somebody else, or they don't really fit in with what the school believes in. Which is exactly what happened to the 5 students in Challenging Our Labels, Rejecting the Language of Remediation, in which students that were accepted into a college were labeled remedial before they even stepped foot on campus, meaning that they weren't really as smart as everybody else, at least that's what the school thought. But that gave them the immediate feeling that they didn't belong. One student in particular who struggled so much described it as being, I had worked so hard to get here, only to find myself at the bottom of the food chain, which meant being looked down upon by everyone. I felt like I did not belong at this school. The disappointment from the student was immeasurable, and they believed that being labeled remedial meant they couldn't succeed and they might as well not even try. The authors wrote this as a warning to the readers, ones that are likely upcoming or current college students. The warning was to illustrate the harm and the feeling that unwelcome can cause, as well as the way to turn it into motivation, one that the students used to rebel against the school's practice of labeling so nobody else had to fall victim. As 5 students that all wanted to drop out at one point, by writing this, they were able to help students that also felt unwelcome. In order to set up these freshmen for success, it is crucial that they are all given the same opportunities from the beginning to create the most balanced approach possible. This can be achieved by placing all freshmen into the same level starter classes barring their major, while still keeping the classes under 50 students to provide them with a chance to feel like they matter in every class. By doing this, students can establish a further connection with the school and its professors because all students are placed on an even playing field from the beginning, so no students feel like they are being unfairly discriminated against by the representatives of the school. Now this brings us back to the original questions. Have you ever felt a measurable disappointment? Have you spent what feels like a lifetime working on something just for it to not be as desired? Now that you know how beneficial it is to make a decision, it's your turn to make a change. Think about a situation in your life that you want to get out of. And now that you know all this, let me ask you one more thing. How will you attack this situation and make a life-changing decision?